Hello guys, welcome back to Kissing Productions. I'm Chris. I am your host. I run this channel. The last video I showed you how to do this character using a template of what we're gonna do in the cartoon. So I need to go over this with you. We're gonna focus on the actions of this character. I already had started rigging up this character so that we can do a run cycle with this character. I already got the control bones and everything. What we need to do is add in a squash and stretch control bone so that when this character goes up and down, I want the body to squish and stretch. So let's do that real fast. And we're also gonna be focusing on let's see. Let's also add squash and stretch. Squash. And stretch. And then let's also add an action for the shadow, because I want the shadow underneath the character. So I'm gonna quickly save that, minimize that window, come over here to where I have the runner. So add in a bone, select the base bone. Let's put it over here. Rename this squash stretch. And thank you so much for tuning in to this tutorial. I know that with my YouTube channel I have not been producing a lot of content lately on my channel. That's because I work 45 hours a week. And so my dedication to the channel has minimized by this much. But I still love doing it. So anyway, let's continue on. Oh, ignore that. That's my cell phone. Sorry. So let's add an action and select the first bone. With the MOHO Pro, you can do this by selecting the hierarchy of this layer. So we can select this bone and come over here to the actions called squash and stretch. And what I like to do is reset the bone at 90-degree angle. And then come over here and then select the bone. And since I know that I'm going to scale up this character and down, I'm going to select scale, reset it. Go back to frame 1. Let's rotate this bone now to the left. And now to this, I'm gonna enter in the value. Let's start off with 2, but that's too much of a squash, of a stretch. Still too much. You're gonna have to be playing with this squash and stretch a lot to get it right. Something that looks like this. Go to frame 48. And let's rotate this bone. Select this again. Now we're gonna squash this character. Let's start off at 90%. Or 0.90. That's way too much squash right there. Still too much. So let's go with 75. That's a little bit perfect. Okay. How about 85? There we go. That's enough squash and stretch, so we can cross that out of our list. And next is shadow. Let's set up the shadow real fast. Let's go to the main timeline. Now with this, I'm going to add a vector underneath everything. There we go. Bring up the styles. And then let's select a black color. So let's do 50% of this color down to 50%. And sometimes it will do that just because it gets confused. Whole bunch. Not a problem. Okay. Let's also save this document real fast. Okay. Let's do that one more time. Sometimes it will not like there we go. Now let's come over here to the layer that we created. Call this one shadow. This is gonna be connected to the let's see how we can do this. Deselect this and go over here and then tap on the canvas. Preferably over here, so that way it doesn't have to be bind to anything. And we're gonna create a shape, create the oval shape, create it down here. And so when we render this, it looks like she has a shadow underneath. It's pretty cool. It's gonna be, I'm thinking that it will roll and stretch similar to this bone right over here that we just created. So what we're gonna do is deselect the bones again. Come over here to the base bone. And go ahead and add in the bone. Call this shadow. And save that document. It's very important. So if it's anything else, anything like a bigger project, I would be having this character in its own separate folder. Okay, but in this case, we don't have to worry about it that much because it's only demonstration purposes. So what's next on the list? Shadow. So what we're going to do is go into the action windows, select the bone that we wish to be that has the smart bone. I cannot talk. Sorry guys. Let's go over to shadow. Let me actually first go to frame 0. Highlight the points, translate the points. Come over here to the position. Zero at everything. Go ahead and start dragging it where it was. This is so that we can scale the shadow how we want it. So as she goes up, this shadow will shrink. Okay. What's next in our actions plan? So we're gonna be having our run cycle. This is a very, very easy thing to do. So what we're gonna do is just come over here, deselect every bone, call this running. Okay. We're gonna position out everything on frame 1. So she's going pretty fast, so let's position this character. Something that looks like this. And this is kind of like this. Make sure to rotate this. And then what we're gonna do is just press Ctrl F on the keyboard, Ctrl A, Ctrl F to select the bones, so that way we don't mess up anything. So on frame 24, we're gonna do the same thing. This has to be selected. This auto freeze keys has to be selected. So we're gonna right click it, tell the computer that we're gonna be cycling to frame number 2. Go back to frame 12. Let's position everything. Turn on the onion skin. Then go back to frame 1. Now we're gonna switch up the feet. And then switch out these arms real fast. Sometimes if you are doing this, you'll see our character slightly moving out of place. We can go ahead and play this animation. It's a little bit wonky right now. She's sliding. Go on frame 6. This is actually the passing position. So I want you to press Ctrl F on the keyboard. Raise up the character, and then we're going to shrink down this shadow. Then go ahead and move this aside. So we can play it out, and then it looks like frame 6 is working. So on frame 18, now we can do the opposite of what we did on frame 6. So once again, we will do that, do this, and then I'm gonna switch up the feet. So that it looks like she's running. But now too, we can also put in our stretch, squash. That's too much squash. That looks okay. Okay. So once we got that out of the way, I'm gonna bring up the actions window again. Double click on the main timeline. Let's go over with a notepad. Go to overview. Now we can work on the last actions that we want. Tossing something heavy. So this is pretty easy to do too. So quickly save the document. And we're gonna be creating a separate bone. Oh, I forgot to blur that strength real fast. Select the root bone, or the main bone. Let's also do add in a bone over here. Call this ball. Let's actually create the ball with the new vector layer. Rename this ball. And then let's layer bind it to this ball, to this bone. Sorry. Let's select a different color. To set off everything, we're gonna select a deep red. Save this real fast. This ball doesn't have to be centered or anything. It's just a ball. So we're gonna add in a reflection to this wall. We're gonna select a color. So then sharpen the points. Okay. So now we have the ball. We can work on the action. We're gonna call this tossing the ball. Now, like before, we're gonna Control F. That will freeze the bones into place. And let's go ahead and start without off the first position. Oops. I may do something real fast that I forgot to do real fast. So we're gonna bind this shadow to the bone, up to this bone. Sorry, I kind of forgot. So let's drag it over here in front of mine. And then I really don't like how this bone is controlling this ball. So what I'm going to do is just delete the keyframes and reparent everything. So we're gonna select the ball, deselect the ball, go over to frame 1 and start manipulating the ball. Okay. Something down here. And then, of course, we can start manipulating your character into the first position. We need to have the ball closer to our character. Let's also rotate the character. Something that looks like this. Then on frame 6, we're gonna freeze the keys again. Control F. Start off with a new position. So since this ball is real heavy for our character to lift, I'm gonna simulate how the ball is heavy. So on frame 12, I'm gonna freeze the key pose again. Move this ball again over here for right now. Then reposition the bones. And let's rotate this body to something that looks like this. Be sure to scrub your timeline just to make sure there's no floating things happening. On frame 3, we can even adjust this pose right here. So we're gonna clasp onto the ball. On frame 18, we're gonna freeze the keys again. We're gonna adjust the arms. And then she's going to just be launching the ball upwards. On frame 24. Of course, you can use target bounce for this. But do you see how the arms are not bypassing everything? That's not good. So let's adjust the arm and push it through everything else except for the ball. Can I adjust this one? So we can also adjust the scale of this bone by half. So let's see. Is that too much? Nope, not enough. So we need to increase this other bone scale about the same. Then she launches it back. So hold that pose. Then let's go down. And don't worry about the eyes so much. I know that the ball and the eyes don't follow each other. So I have this backwards. So let's switch the keyframes. See, with MOHO 12 Pro, you cannot do this with any other programmer. You can just simply switch the keyframes around, just like what I did. And it's also more cost effective to having this program. Frame 46. We can also adjust this wall just out the frame. let's add in another keyframe. Put it at 42. She lands, and then let's also adjust these arms too. I don't think I ever done any scripting before, as far as planning out the actions for my characters, such as a storyboard or anything else. I just kind of feel the motion of my characters. So let's call this day. Let's also put instant movement between the squash and stretch. Also shadow and the hair too. That's pretty good. So you got to just eyeball it. Okay. So probably in part 4 I'm gonna do a full cartoon with this character. If people are watching this, please let me know what you would like to see on my channel, or for this character to exist. What can she do with these 5 different actions? Well, I'm thinking of a story to tell with this character, and it should be like only about 30 seconds of animation to tell. Alright guys, thank you for watching this, and this has been Animation with Chris, and this is my channel, Kazumi Chan Productions, and hit that like button for me if you're brand new to this channel, and just to make sure that my content doesn't go away, please share it. Please share my video. And two, if you have anything funny to put on my channel, to tell me in the comments down below. I'm more than eager to do your animation. I know that with one of my friends on YouTube. He always submits his ideas. It's kind of like a one-person show, but that's not my aim for my channel. My channel was designed for just to make cartoons funny and whatever. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this. See you next time. Bye.